Welcome and thank you for joining us on this episode of Tone Setters TV, where we invite people to own your tone. With your host, Christopher Not Chris of Tone Setters Entertainment. On this episode of Tone Setters TV, we talk to David Wicks, an independent financial advisor, where he discusses his plan to impact our community by sharing financial literacy. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Christopher Not Chris here with another episode of Tone Setters TV. I'm here with my man David Wicks.
What's good?
Independent business owner, financial guru. Hey man, first of all, I just want to thank you for being on the show today.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We've done some little financial videos and things in the past.
Yeah.
I've known this dude since he was almost pretty much born.
Damn
near. We've been locked in for a long time with David and the Wicks family. And one day we're probably gonna bring the whole team on to talk a little bit about what they do. But we have David here today. Mm-hmm. Like I said, independent business owner, working with a financial company, but independently running his own business. So that's the first thing I want to get into, David.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about like what it means to be an independent business owner working under the umbrella of a financial organization?
Yeah, man. That's a good question. A lot of people ask me that one because I am independent. So, what I'm saying, I work on my own terms and such like that. I do have a 9-to-5, but this is like my side hustle, more my passion and things that I actually care about. I would say working independently under the umbrella of a business, just think of it like franchising, right? Like, let's just say you were a business owner here locally, and you said, "Man, I want to get into the restaurant business." You might want to go start your own restaurant. You might want to go through all the licensing, certifications, inspections that takes. Or you might want to go and work with a franchise like a Chick-fil-A or a McDonald's or something like that. And what I'm saying, just like with those type of companies, there are some, stipulations, some rules, obviously some background checks that have to be done beforehand. Same thing with any business, especially with the same one that I do. I work with a company called Primerica, and so we are a financial services company, but what it really does is it allows you to do your own thing at your own pace, which is what I really like about it. And the key thing about it is we get to educate people about stuff that's really important in the community. But yeah, man, it's definitely legit. I'm licensed in the state of Texas, life insurance and securities license, which means I can help people start investing and stuff like that. So if you ever need some help getting started with just the habit of investing and you don't know maybe where to go or how to go about it, you can always hit me up. But yeah, so that's pretty much how it works. If you think about like a Chick-fil-A or something like that, you know what I'm saying, just either independent business owner working under the umbrella of a company, you got the backing of that company and the reputation of that company.
Okay, cool. So, thank you for that explanation. So that kind of gets that out of the way so people can kind of have an understanding of what exactly you do.
Yeah.
And you said licensed in the state of Texas for life insurance and securities.
Right.
Can you explain to us just a little bit more in details what securities entail?
Sure. So securities in general, when you think securities, think of like stocks, bonds, that kind of stuff. So when it comes to the stock market or any type of security, that's why I'm securities licensed. Because I'm securities licensed, I can help people start investing in different things, different mutual funds, retirement accounts, Roth IRAs. It gets a lot into the weeds, but it's really simple stuff. But there is like a certain level of, like just like testing and stuff you got to go through. I had to take like 3 tests. I don't know why I was 3, but it was able to give me license. So now I'm able to help families, help people. Maybe you switch a job and you like got some money that you left over there and you need to do a rollover and you want to just, not have to worry about putting it under your new gig, or maybe you don't have a new gig lined up. You can roll it over and have how it works is if you have a 401k and you want to roll it over, you can roll it into a traditional IRA and you don't got to pay any penalties. So there's a lot of different things that the securities license allows you to do. But the best thing that I think it allows me to do is help people get started with investing because it's something that's so important. But it's like a muscle. You got to start somewhere. And so like if you was to, go to the gym or something, you ain't gonna be able to lift all the heavy weight right out the jump. But if you can start with, 5 or 50 or maybe $100 a month, you can start building that muscle. And then, that's what allows you to start doing bigger things. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a good explanation. Thank you for like breaking that down. Just for those that don't understand the term securities and what exactly that means.
Right.
I noticed that you said you do still have a 9 to 5, but this is your passion. What about financial services and being able to impact others with financial services has really been the benefit for you?
Man, I would have to say, bro, the benefit for me, dog, is just watching that light bulb come on in somebody's head. Whether we're talking about making sure that your family's properly protected, or just getting started investing, that is something that like I can't put a price on it, man. Like, it doesn't matter how much money I make or any of that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that I've done a lot, but when somebody gets it and they understand it and they're like, man, okay, I know what I can do from here on out. And now that opens another door. That opens more opportunities for them because they understand, okay, I got a good financial foundation. Now we're impacting the community. We're impacting generations. Just for example, one of the main things that people are not educated about is life insurance. And it's one of the surefire ways that you can leave an inheritance for your kids, but people don't understand that for a small amount per month, they can make sure that if something happens to them, their family's taken care of, kids are going to college, the house can be paid off, that kind of stuff. It's super important, but nobody really talking about it. And so that's why the financial literacy aspect of it is more important than really the product, services, all that, because if you can get the concepts, then can't nobody take that away from you. I can come in here and tell you, hey man, you need to do this, but if you don't understand it, it's not gonna hit, it's not gonna stick either. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's the most important part. That education piece is key.
That's what's up, because a lot of times we do perish for lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. You know what I'm saying? So being able to provide that understanding to people is a great benefit.
Yeah.
What would you say would be one of your biggest challenges so far in, being an independent business owner, running your own franchise? What's been your biggest challenge so far?
Man, I think the biggest challenge for anybody, especially when you're doing something more part-time, is just the consistency piece. I never really been the type to doubt my ability, but my consistency is the part that I like definitely want to start leveling up. So, that's going to be the biggest piece for me, and making sure that I, stay consistent, because the more I'm in front of people and talking about what I do, the more opportunity there is, the more people get helped, and that's how you impact the community, right? Like, that's what I keep coming back to. If I want to impact the community, I got to do this every day. I got to live, breathe, and speak it. And so that's what I'm getting more focused on, you know what I mean? And it's just that work-life balance too, man. Like, I got a girl, you know what I'm saying? I got homies. I want to go out and do stuff, but I also got to make sure I, keep the priorities where they need to be. So that's definitely a big part of it, man. That balance and then that consistency.
That's it right there. Consistency.
Yeah.
And even that work-life balance, man. All of that comes into play because you want to be a well-rounded individual.
Absolutely.
Of course, you want to give everything you have to what you're doing, but you have so many things that are going on within a person's life on a day-to-day basis. You want to give everybody everything.
Exactly.
You do have to create that balance, as well as being consistent with those people, being consistent with those work processes, whether it be your 9 to 5 or your side hustle. That's really what you want to be your end goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to be consistent on all those things and balance all those things accordingly to get to that next level. So I know you talk a lot about education. I know you talk a lot about, impacting the community. So far, what has been one of your biggest accomplishments that you feel that you've reached in the business?
Man, dog, like the first time I was able to get a family properly protected, that was like my milestone. I'm like, okay, dang, this family's going to be good for life. Like, no matter what happens, you know what I'm saying? So that part right there, that was probably my biggest milestone. And then, like, anytime we add somebody to the team and show them, how easy it is to get licensed and start helping in the community, that's another piece that, like, bar none is dope, because a lot of people think that you gotta have a ton of money, you gotta have a lot of seed capital, or you gotta have like a crazy amount of hustle to get out here and start, doing stuff on your own. But in reality, it doesn't take all of that. It just takes the wherewithal to make a smart decision and say, man, okay, I want to do this. I'm gonna be willing to put X amount of hours per week towards doing this, and I'm willing to show up and be consistent. That part right there is easier said than done, but I mean, that right there is probably the biggest part for me, man. Just being able to show people how easy it is, and that they ain't alone and wanting to do something more. Because a lot of us have this pull, like, man, I know I'm not reaching my full potential. I want to do something more. Like when I could help and be like, yo, man, I can help you do that, and maybe it doesn't have to be so hard. Maybe you can lean on me. I can lean on you. That kind of stuff is super dope for me. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And what would you say? Because I know this is a sales job, even though it's not. Even though you're more focused on the education and understanding finances and financial literacy. In the sales aspect of the job, like, what's one of the biggest objections that you get from prospective clients, and how do you usually try to overcome that?
Man, I'll give you two, because there's really two main things that we help with, and that's really the life insurance, and then making sure people are properly protected. But on the income protection part, the life insurance, I always hear, well, I'm young. Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't see anything happening to me over the next 5 or so years. Hopefully I can get enough bread to where if I left, nothing would skip a beat. And what I always tell people is that the cheapest that any type of insurance is going to be for you as a person is right now, today. It could have been cheaper if you got it a little bit while back, but it's only going to get more expensive as you get older. So if you could lock something in that's going to take care of your family for the rest of their life, if you could lock that in early, awesome. Let's spend as little as possible on that, so that way we're spending a little bit less on that, and we can put more into that investment account. And then that's what leads me to my other objection I get is, well, why do I need to invest? I mean, I make good money. My dad always says this, David, you young, you strapped, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of energy, but you're not gonna want to show up to that job in 25 years. You're not gonna be feeling the same. You're not gonna spring out the bed the same like you do right now. And it's funny because I don't spring out the bed right now. I'm rolling out the bed. But he's talking about taking care of your future self. And so what people don't understand is that when you're investing, it's not for you. It's for Christopher down the line. It's for Christopher and his kids. It's for the girls' college, and it's stuff like that. So if you can think past like today, right now, next week, next month, next year, then now we're talking about building generational wealth and impacting generations, because it only takes one person. You know what I'm saying? So that's the two biggest objections. Oh, well, I'm young, I'm good. And then they also use that kind of to be like, oh, I don't need to invest. I mean, I'm getting money now. It's all good. You got to take care of your future self. You know, it's a self-love act, what it really is. You know what I'm saying?
I like the way you put that as far as it being a self-love act. I never even thought about it in that light personally, even though I know what you guys do, and I believe in the mission, but right. I never even thought of it in the light of it being like a part of self-love. That's just taking care of yourself in the future like that. I mean, you've given us some great knowledge and some great understanding, insight of what you do and why you do it, and that's really what we're here to do, is find that out. So to wrap everything up today, I want to ask you one last question that we ask all of our guests on Tone Setters TV. What is one book? And I know you, so I know you probably got about 18 books that pop in your head right now.
Yeah.
Just give us one book that you may have read recently or read in the past that you think will impact some of our viewers in a positive light.
Can I give you two?
Go ahead and give me two.
Okay, thank you. He's been in the rules for me, y'all. This dude been in the rules for me. So I'm going to give you one on the more financial tip, and then I'm going to give you one more on the life tip. So the first one is one of my favorite books. Is called Set for Life by Scott Trench. He's the CEO of this company called Bigger Pockets. It's a real estate investment platform. But this dude basically broke down, if you want to live differently, you know what I'm saying, in the next 10, 15 years, if you are a younger person or even somebody who's on the younger side of things, I'm talking to my millennials right here. This book breaks down what is the main things you got to do to make sure that you do that. And I'll break them down for you right now. Live below your means. You're going to have to invest pretty aggressively. You're going to have to keep your expenses low, but that gives you opportunity to start taking different risks that maybe if your pockets were strapped and you had a lot of different things pulling on you that you wouldn't be able to do. So that's the first book. That book is crazy good. It breaks down a lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now. And we'll talk about that in another interview, but that's a good book, Set for Life. And then the other one, this book called Outwitting the Devil. It's by, what's his name? Napoleon. Napoleon Hill, I believe, is the author of that one. Bro, that one's crazy because it kind of talks more so to the aspect of a lot of people right now are drifting through life. And so we don't want to be drifters. We want to be in control of what's going on, in control of our thoughts, in control of our time, in control of our money. A lot of these different things, people are just drifting and other people control those aspects. Even like their thought process, like groupthink and everything you think is what the TL told you to think. That kind of stuff right there, that's being a drifter. And so this book kind of helps you to break free from that. And it helped me break free from a lot of stuff that I was doing. I was like, man, why am I even doing this? You know what I'm saying? So, Set for Life, Outwitting the Devil, top 2 books I recommend off top. Yeah, it's a good one.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Because the Outwitting the Devil, I've actually read that before.
You know about it.
That's a Napoleon Hill. It's got gems all over the place.
All over the spot, yeah.
And then Set for Life is another one that I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Excellent book.
So everybody, that's 2 books for this episode. You guys got blessed a little bit by Mr. Wicks today.
Double.
David, I appreciate you coming through and talking to us a little bit about your business, a little bit about yourself, and why you do what you do. Can you give us your Instagram so that way people can follow you?
Yes. Everybody, my Instagram is at @the_Wicks. You can follow me on there. I post a lot of good content, encouragement stuff, investing stuff, personal finance stuff, all the stuff I care about. Make sure y'all follow Christopher, not Chris, man. And really follow Tone Setter. I think it's Tone Setters ENT on IG. They're producing some of the top quality content out of San Antonio. They highlighting local business owners, all that dope stuff, man. So shout out to Christopher for coming through, man. It was a pleasure, bro.
Hey, man, again, I appreciate you, David. It's always a blessing getting to chop it up with you, whether we on camera or not.
Yeah, most definitely.
Tone Setters, I appreciate you guys for tuning in for this episode. You know we'll be back for more, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
All right.
Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.